Christopher Bell continues to lead the Iowa 250. Cole Custer second. Justin Allgaier, Harrison Burton, and Zane Smith the top five. Bell also won our opening stage in a bizarre situation. While we were at break, Brandon Brown had made a couple of pit stops. The second time he came around, you saw smoke, and he eventually climbed from the race car.
He put this window net down immediately when he came down pit road, and something was going on inside of this car, and I think Ellen Cavana can tell us what it was.
Well, we don't know quite yet. We saw that smoke. Some of the team down here thinking maybe he inhaled a lot of that smoke that was going up into the cockpit. Right now, he's being tended to on his way to infield care. They just got him some water. You can see they're trying to pack him with ice there. Right now, he's talking. He's alert. They're going to take him to the infield care center and see what they can do.
Well, that's the good news. He's awake and alert. You can tell he's warmed up pretty good. But when he first climbed from that race car, I was nervous for his condition. Now we get a follow-up on Noah Gregson, who had made that unscheduled pit stop, Hermie.
He had loose wheel, and now the studs are stripped on the right front of the nine. At least a couple of them are. You can see this was the first tire that came off the right front, and you can see these holes are supposed to be completely round, and they are not. So he started complaining a little bit about it, then he didn't mention it anymore. But this is the first tire that came off. The second one came off, was even worse. So I expect we'll see more issues with the right front of the nine later today.
A lot of times they can put a wheel spacer on that right front or take one off, whatever the situation might be, so they can grab some threads with those lugs. But certainly going to make a long day for a really fast number 9 car. He had a great ride.
Disappointing for a team that's had some good momentum here, and I think that you got to take the silver linings on things like this is try and get as many of those laps back as you can and at least learn something, because we do go back to Iowa very soon.
And another guy that's in the same situation is Tyler Reddick. He got down 2 laps, and he's trying to battle back from that as well. A lot of guys right now would love to see a caution. Maybe some of the leaders get to pit road and open up the playbook, give them a chance to use some strategy. There you see Reddick. Give him a chance to use some strategy to try to get back on the lead lap.
See, here he's 25th. He comes in 10 consecutive top 5 finishes. His 11 top 5s this year, more than any other driver has top 10s. It puts into perspective how good that team has been. Mention all the wins lately. Average finish so far in 2019, 3.9, but that'll take a big hit today.
Well, it's not over. He could use a couple of cautions, but he's still got a chance running really well. You can see he was keeping up there with Chase Briscoe, who's currently riding 11th. This is a great story, isn't it, Adam? Zane Smith, the job he's doing behind Dale Jr.'s number 8 car.
Well, anybody that's been driving that 8 this year has found success, and I give a lot of credit to Taylor Moyer, but you said this earlier. Crew chief driver, neither one of them had any experience at Iowa before yesterday.
Oh, we mentioned that Zane Smith only had 18 laps. Well, Taylor Moyer had about the same as a crew chief. Those 18 laps were his experience as a crew chief. He had been there before in a different series when the track had first opened, but a long time in between visits, and he was only a mechanic back then. So Taylor Moyer has been the one constant on that race car all year long. You got to really look at him and say he's been doing a very nice job for that team.
Christopher Bell drives around Joe Graff Jr. That puts Joe Graff Jr. a lap down in the 16th position. Solid run for the young racer. And there you see Cole Custer. He's 3 seconds behind C. Bell, and consistently Christopher has the fastest lap times.
Yeah, we speculated maybe earlier that Cole Custer caught the traffic, and maybe that's where he lost a little bit of his time. But we're seeing the opposite now. Christopher Bell is continuing to stretch the lead in traffic and really flexing some serious muscle right now.
Austin Cindric coming after Zane Smith here. Talked to Brian Wilson, crew chief for the 22 this morning. Felt confident in their race car. Said Cindric has adapted well to Iowa. Put him in the top 5. 25 laps to go. Stage 2. Bell, Custer, Allgaier, Burton, Cindric, your top 5. Let's go side by side from Iowa on FS1.